Thank you for joining us. I'm excited about this one. So we're joined by Ashley Lewis of Podium. And if you didn't just hear me already, she's out in Utah. So the chamber recently partnered with Podium, and she'll get into the details of what Podium is and the different advantages of using them, one of them being texting. But yeah, I won't give too much away. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll kind of monitor those. Otherwise, we can save them for the end. But yeah, this is Ashley Lewis with Podium, and she's going to talk about why your business should be texting in 2022.
Perfect. Thanks so much, McKenna. I'll go ahead and share my screen so everybody can see our presentation here. Can you all see my screen okay?
I can see it. Yep.
Perfect. All right, so like McKenna said, today's webinar is going to be on why your business should be texting in 2022 and 5 tips to get you started. So we really appreciate you taking the time out of your day today to join us. We'll hope to keep things pretty succinct and hope that the information we'll be able to share today will be valuable for you and your business. So as McKenna mentioned, my name is Ashley Lewis, and I've worked as a partner manager with Podium, working at the company for about 2 years now on the strategic partnerships team. So if by way of introduction, if Podium is not a familiar name to you, we are a software company, and we provide business texting solutions to just over 150,000 businesses. So we're excited to share more about what we've learned working within this market, and again, hope that it'll be helpful. So here's the agenda that we have today. This is the plan for this webinar. We'll break things up into 3 sections and leave time for the end for some questions. Also, do want to note that if you have to hop off today for any reason, this webinar will be recorded, so you will be able to have access to this. First off, we'd like to get into why businesses are adopting SMS texting. We'll talk a little bit about how consumer expectations have changed within the past decade and how this communication method has become more and more preferred at the local level with your local consumers. Second, we'll provide some tips on how to get started with text messaging. So if you're one of the 50% of local businesses that have not adopted texting yet, we'll provide some tips on how to get started from scratch. And third, we'll then offer some tips on how to use texting to improve the customer experience. So not only just text your customers, but really augment the customer journey to be able to help offer a convenient experience throughout the entire customer journey. So to start off, here are some statistics that should help set the stage for some of the tips and tricks that we'll be getting into today. What these statistics illustrate really is that convenience is king. By now, I'm sure you know that convenience is no longer a nice to have for your consumers. It's really what they expect, especially coming out of COVID. No longer are phone or email the preferred methods of communication amongst your customer base. In fact, you can see here on the right that 90% of consumers prefer to use text or mobile messaging to communicate with businesses. And 78% of consumers say that text is the best way to reach them. And then here on the right, over 41% of consumers in 2022 say that they're likely to switch to a different business because they offer text messaging to communicate. So here at Podium, we talk a lot about what we call the Amazon effect. Modern giants like Amazon have really enabled customers to be able to go online and order a product or a service within a matter of clicks. And now those same customers have begun to expect the same level of convenience when purchasing at a local level, whether it be their dentist or their doctor or their hairdresser or auto shop. So to put it simply, businesses that don't accommodate consumer communication preferences will be left behind. Over the last decade, actually, the number of minutes that your local consumers spend on shopping has fallen to 20% fewer minutes per week. So what this means is that the time your customers dedicate to your business is becoming increasingly valuable. without the proper methods to be able to live up to this demand for convenience, your customers will choose to go to the competition that can offer them an easier, faster, and more modern experience, therefore leaving you behind. So let's see, I think I skipped. There we go. So why do consumers want to text? First off, mass emails and robocalls and flyers in the mail, they don't feel personalized. They actually feel intrusive and hard to reach. Text has become more preferred because not only is it less intrusive, but it's also much easier to find and respond to compared to other channels. So to this third bullet point here, no one likes the experience of having to call a business and wait on a phone tree and wait on hold, likely get passed around, and then end up having to leave a voicemail in the first place. Going back to the statement that your customer's time is valuable, the speed that they're able to communicate with you has a large influence on their purchasing decision, which is why text has become so preferred. So when businesses are able to integrate text messaging into their communication strategy, it's actually far, far more effective than traditional channels, which you can see here. 99% is the open rate for text messages, which is 5 times the average open rate for email. And 90% of text messages are open within 3 minutes. These rates honestly vary the rates that you get with other communication channels. With the 99% open rate, you can pretty much guarantee that your message is going to be heard. I even think about this myself as a consumer. And when I look into my personal email inbox, it is absolutely flooded. I have no idea what's going on in there. I probably have hundreds, if not thousands, of unread emails. However, every time I get a text, my phone lights up and I look at it right away. So to wrap up this segment of the webinar, here are some results that Podium users have achieved from texting their customers. 77% feel that their customers are more satisfied texting with the business. 66% feel that they're developing more positive customer relationships. And on average, our customers are saving 5 times per week, or excuse me, 5 hours per week, which is huge. To this second statistics point, something that I always like to add here is that when we're talking about business texting, it's not that your customers want to get away from face-to-face conversations. They want to get closer to one-on-one conversations. When you can text your customers one-on-one, you're actually able to build a relationship with them because your conversations become much more than just trying to get in touch with each other, playing phone tag, trying to respond to emails. When it's through text, you're actually talking about business and getting to know them as a customer. So to this last results point, I think this is incredibly valuable. As I'm sure you all know, time is money as a local business owner. As someone likely wearing a dozen different hats, it's the more time that you can save per week, the more time you can spend on actually running your business rather than managing manual tasks and keeping up with phone calls. So moving on to our second portion of today's webinar, getting started with text messaging for your business. As I mentioned earlier, about 50% of local businesses today in 2022 still have not adopted business texting. So we'd like to provide some tips on how you can get started from scratch. So 60% of your website visits come from a mobile device. And as I mentioned earlier, 90% of consumers prefer to text. So you want your business's first impression to come with an option for customers to text you. And the easiest way to do this is by setting up messaging on your GMB page. So I'm sure most of you have a GMB page, and we'll just go through the steps on how to get this set up. So first, you'll log into your GMB page here that looks like this. Select customers in the upper left menu. Select messages and tap turn on. And then lastly, this is probably the most important step, you want to download the app or use your Podium account to be able to collect and receive those messages. So these aren't going to be going straight to your personal cell phone. you want to be able to have a platform or a software that can support that. So again, the steps: log into your GMB page, hit this menu here in the upper left and hit customers, then select messages, tap turn on, and make sure that you have a way to collect those messages. Then there, your customers know right away when they first see your business that they have the option to text you, which is how they prefer to communicate. So the second tip to help you get started with business texting is to find a solution to enable your landline to accept text messages. We talk to a lot of local businesses here at Podium, and some of them are family owned and have had the same phone number for decades. So it's important that you don't separate the number that your customers can call and the number that your customers can text from one another. You want it to be the same number. So when you find a solution like Podium that can host your landline and make it two-way textable, your customers are actually able to save that number into the contacts in their phone number and reach out to you however they prefer. So next, what you want to do is make sure that your customer base knows that you now can accept text messages and they know that they are able to reach you in this way. So it's important that you publish your textable number everywhere. Put it on your website where your phone number is listed, put it on your business listing and in your email signatures. I always recommend putting a call or text section next to your phone number on your business cards for if you're going to trade shows or meeting people in person. That way your customers know that they have options when it comes to the way that they communicate with you. So the last step in, as I mentioned earlier, probably the most important, is that you want to manage your text conversations with an interaction management platform like Podium. So when we talk about business texting, we're not talking about texting your customers through your personal devices. As a business owners, you don't need to be having your business conversations on your personal device. So a platform like Podium and an interaction management tool helps get conversations off personal devices and consolidate all interactions into a single platform. So what that means is you have a lot of different channels of communication as a business owner, whether it be text or social media or your Facebook messages, phone calls and emails. Through an interaction management platform, you're able to funnel that all into one place and be able to manage your communications in a much more efficient way. So thirdly, through an interaction management platform, you're able to assign conversations to the right individuals. It makes it so much easier for you to manage communications as a business owner, especially if you have employees, because likely you're having frequently asked questions coming in from your customer base. And through a platform like Podium, you're able to assign those conversations or those frequently asked questions to the individuals and the employees that know how to handle them. Lastly, get all employees on board to create a cohesive messaging experience. I think that this is a huge tip when it comes to building the brand of your business. The way that you communicate with your customers and the ease of which they're able to communicate with you is a huge part. It's the entire customer journey. So when you're able to have that very zipped up, it really adds to the brand of your business. And it makes it so that your customer knows what they're getting every time. So now that we've given some tips on how to get started, we're going to go into 5 ways that you can use texting to improve the customer experience. Not just text your customers, but really build this into the entire customer journey. So the first way that you're able to do this is by setting appointments and sending appointment reminders. I'm sure we have all felt the pain of trying to track down a no-show appointment. There's nothing worse, whether it be through sending the email invite, resending it, trying to play phone tag to get things rescheduled, calling, leaving voicemails, emailing again. There's a lot of inefficiency on both sides on trying to do that, and it's definitely very frustrating for a business owner that wears a lot of hats. So when you're able to do this through text, your customers are able to set the appointment themselves. And then as the business owner or your receptionist, since text messages have a 99% open rate, you're actually able to really significantly reduce your no-show appointments, because when you remind your customers about their meeting, you can pretty much guarantee that they're going to see that. It's just an easier way to communicate and to be able to coordinate for your customers. So second is you're able to make your website a higher converting lead gen tool. I'm sure you all know that your website probably doesn't answer all of the questions that your customers or potential customers may have about the services that you provide. So when you're able to make your website textable, what it does is really open up or cast a net for those potential customers to become actual customers. Through business texting and making your website two-way textable, what you can do, or what your customers can do, is text into your website and then close their browser and get off your website and still be able to communicate with your business. And on the flip side, for your receptionist or as a business owner, you can ensure that all of the leads coming to your website are going to be actual leads for you, regardless if they leave your website. And you can communicate with them when you're able. This improves customer satisfaction because nobody likes to fill out an email form on a website that says we'll get back to you in 48 hours, or wait on a live chat bot that takes away that human element. So third, and probably my favorite advantage of business texting, is that you're able to create upsell opportunities. Like I said earlier, the 99% open rate that comes with business texting makes text one of the best marketing channels for local businesses. So through text, you're able to achieve incremental increases in value by using it as a marketing channel to be able to run campaigns and bulk communicate with your customers and let them know about different offers that are relevant to them, which then improves customer satisfaction. Through a platform like Podium, you're able to see where all of your customers are coming from, see their history as a customer, where they came in on their website, on your website, and then be able to target them through text with specific messaging that tailors to them as your customer. So huge way for you to be able to re-engage your audience and help retain your customers and keep them coming back time and time again. So the fourth way that you're able to use business texting to help improve the customer experience is to ask for feedback. As local business owners, you're always trying to improve and grow your business and help better the customer experience for your customers. And when you do things through text, you're able to replace the cumbersome satisfaction surveys with shorter, just text-based surveys. I'm sure maybe some of us have been asked to fill out a survey over email, and then it directs you to a clunky website that's hard to navigate. When it's through text, again, there's just that element of convenience. It's much more familiar to your customers, and it feels much more personalized because it feels like that one-on-one communication. Podium customers using Messenger and utilizing our feedback tool actually see a 26% increase in NPS scores. So it's really valuable for the businesses that are able to take actionable feedback from their customers and implement it in the way that they grow their business. So number 5, you're able to answer questions and solve problems quickly. I think this is huge, and it definitely ties back to when we talk about convenience throughout the customer journey and the idea that your customer's time is valuable. They demand the speed here. Not all questions and problems require a phone call. All businesses have frequently asked questions, whether it be, what are your hours? Do you have X in stock? Do you have this color in stock? And those questions are very easily answered, which means your customer does not want to have to call in and again, wait on a phone tree or wait for a 48-hour email response to be able to get something very simple answered. Their time slot that they kind of allow a business to answer those simple questions have a huge impact on their purchasing decision. And if they can get the same simple question answered easier or more quickly, they'll go to another business. So texting is also much more visual than a phone call. I'm sure we've all tried to explain a product or a service over the phone, and it can definitely be more difficult. I know working in software, it's always so much easier to do a visual demo than try to tour guide on the cell phone and try to explain over the phone. So by doing things through text, it's much more familiar to your customers, but it's also much more visual, where you're able to attach attachments, videos, and branding, as well as photos, to be able to help your customers really understand and see the value of the services that you provide before they even come through your door. So bonus here, which is kind of the bread and butter for Podium, is by using business texting, you're able to invite your customers to review your business and leave reviews online. I'm sure we've all seen within the past decade the massive impact that online reviews can have on a business. It can really make or break your business these days at a local level. So by doing this through text, you're able to connect your customers directly to review sites that they already use where your business is prevalent, like Google. And you're able to increase the number of reviews by 15x compared to email-based platforms. I think that the easiest way to describe this is thinking about it in your own eyes as a consumer. Likely, if it's not easy for you to leave a review for a business that you've done business with, the only way that you're going to look that business's Google up, find their location, log into your Google account, and write out a review is likely if you've had a very negative experience. So by using text as a way to solicit reviews, you're able to collect much more positive feedback from the flow of customers coming through your door every day that are having a positive experience. As I mentioned, reviews are kind of the bread and butter here at Podium. We're partnered with Google, and this is really how we got started. So want to provide some statistics on why reviews matter. 3.3 is the lowest star rating of a business consumers would consider engaging with. 82% of consumers say that the content of a review has convinced them to make a purchase. And 93% of consumers say online reviews have an impact on their purchasing decisions. Again, when we think about this ourselves as consumers, we can kind of go to the whole Amazon effect that I mentioned earlier. I think about myself every time I'm scrolling through Amazon, I'm about to make a quick purchase. I always look online or on the reviews and see how many stars it has and scroll through a couple of reviews before placing my order. Something else I noticed is that in Home Depot, actually, I noticed this the other day, they've started to actually print out the physical number of reviews that each product has online and putting it next to the price of each product. So that's happening at an in-person level, which shows the impact that online reviews have on purchasing decisions, even offline. So one of our last slides here is I'd like to provide an introduction to Podium and to our platform and how the things that we've gone through today apply to the solutions that Podium is able to provide. As I mentioned earlier, through an interaction platform like Podium, you're able to consolidate all of your conversations into a single dashboard. So again, whether it be text message or email, your phone system and your voicemail inbox, or your Instagram messages or your Facebook messages, Podium will be able to sort that all into one place for you. So it's much more easier to manage and you don't have to have 50 tabs open just to know where your customers are coming from. Podium also is able to provide valuable insight into your business's operations. I think this is a huge way that local businesses have been kind of underserved within the past decade. Most technology companies serve big enterprise businesses, but when you as a local business owner are able to have solutions that give you insights and reports and measurables, you're really able to look under the hood of your business and understand your customer base to be able to implement that into the way that you grow year over year. You're able to stay connected through our platform to improve overall customer satisfaction. Again, you're able to see where all of your customers are coming from and utilize tools like campaigns and bulk messaging to be able to re-engage them time and time again. Something we talk a lot about here to this fourth bullet point is send to scare. Some businesses are afraid to text their customers because they're not sure how to start the conversation. So Podium has utilized pre-made templates to help jumpstart conversations, whether it be for marketing or for requesting payment or for inviting your customers to leave a review. Podium, we've done this a lot with a lot of different businesses. So we've crafted some sentences and some starters to be able to help you reach out to your customers in a way that we know works. And then, of course, through our partnership with the Oshkosh Chamber, we have extended an exclusive discount for all members at 10%. And we're excited to be able to be part of the community in this way. We've already started talking to dozens of different members within the area, and we have some that have signed up already that are seeing success. So we'd love to invite you to look into this solution and see if it's for you as an advantage of your membership. So that's all I have today. Like I said, wanted to keep things fairly quick, but we can go ahead and open things up for Q&A. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and we can go back to things and open things up now. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing. And McKenna, if you want to check on that here.
Yes, and Trina popped in
Hi.
to join. So
Good morning.
yeah, I don't know if anybody has any questions for Ashley. But we're excited about our partnership with Podium just because we do feel that it's giving smaller businesses the opportunity to compete with things like Amazon, because we live in a world of instant gratification and everything like that. So, and I know I just was on vacation and I relied heavily on reviews and everything, and like the texting with different places. So whether it was restaurants or shopping or attractions.
Totally.
So
Totally.
And I love the notion, because this comes up all the time in consumer work I do, which is people love to multitask.
Yeah.
So you have consumers that are working moms who are driving their kids to school, and then they're stopping to get gas, and while the gas is pumping, they can be taking care of business. And I love that concept.
And especially for the local business, when we flip it, local business owners are wearing 100 different hats. So to have to manage a live chat and an email inbox and a voicemail inbox and all of the different ways that they're making their customers reach out to them, it creates a lot of inefficiency for them. So by utilizing a platform like text, it makes it so much easier for the customer, but we found it also saves a lot of time for the business owner as well. So definitely a good call out. Awesome. Well, again, this meeting will be recorded, everybody. So my contact information is on the last slide that we showed here before I stopped sharing my screen. So please feel free to reach out to me or the chamber with any questions. We'd be happy to get back in touch and tell you a little bit more about Podium and how we've teamed up with the chamber, but really appreciate the time.
yes, thank you very much, Ashley. We appreciate it too. And thanks everyone for joining us.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of the day.
All right.